I'm Dory, and on this episode of Ask Starbase, I'm going to be answering a question from Paprika. Paprika would like to know, what do we know about the sun's properties? So, what do we know about the sun? A lot. First, we know about how old it is. Our sun is about 4.6 billion years old. That being said, it's only considered middle-aged by star standards. There are still billions of years left before it becomes a red giant and later a white dwarf. We also have measured its size. This star has a radius of about 435,000 miles or 700,000 kilometers, which is considered to be a little smaller than average. Although it's not one of the biggest stars, this yellow dwarf is large enough to fit more than 1 million Earths inside of it. Another property we can measure is the temperature of the various layers of the sun. The surface is about 5.5 million degrees Celsius, while the core is closer to 15.5 million degrees Celsius. This information also helps us understand what chemical reactions can occur. The temperatures and pressures in the core of the sun make up an environment hot enough to allow for nuclear fusion, where hydrogen atoms fuse to become helium. Speaking of elements, we also know which ones make up our sun and about how much mass it contains. Right now, our sun is approximately 74% hydrogen, 25% helium, and 1/6900% of other elements. The sun is so massive that even though that last percentage seems tiny, its mass is still 5,629 times larger than the mass of Earth. We also know the sun doesn't stay still. Like the Earth, the sun also rotates counterclockwise, but it takes about 25 to 35 Earth days to spin around once. It emits specific types of energy, but it can take a while to reach other parts of the solar system. Light from the sun takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth because it's 150 million kilometers or 93 million miles away. Aside from light, the sun also releases a combination of heat and charged particles known as the solar wind, which travels at about 450 kilometers per second or 280 miles per second over a span of more than 10 billion miles. We have also found patterns in how often some of this energy is released. The sun experiences solar flares and sunspots on a cycle every 11 years due to changes in its magnetic field. These events can disrupt satellite communications and knock out power on Earth. The sun also experiences coronal mass ejections, or CMEs, that rush out from the sun and send shockwaves through the solar wind. While we know quite a bit about the sun, organizations like NASA are continuing to gather more data through missions including ACE and Artemis. These missions are looking to find out the composition of the corona and solar winds and how the energy from the sun impacts the moon. I can't wait to see what else they find out. Thank you for watching this episode of Ask Starbase, and a special thank you to Paprika for asking this question. If you have a STEM question, email it to ask@starbase-ct.com, or you can put it on our website, starbase-ct.com, and we'll answer it ASAP. Stay safe and be well. Bye!